Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another STAMPtember 2025 limited edition exclusive collaboration video. Today it is with Art Impressions and it's the Boba Babes. There's always some funny kind of set with Art Impressions, and this is a very coloring heavy video. So if you enjoy watching coloring, I hope you enjoy today's video. We are going to start by building a little bit of a background with the stamp set, or for this stamp set rather, today, and that is with this Hero Art brick stencil. I've said this in many videos, but I have lots and lots of brick stencils in my stash because I feel like we always could use another brick stencil, and they are one of the staples for scene building. So this is a very simple scene today. This image of these two ladies with their boba teas really takes up the majority of the card. So when I was contemplating how do I want to build this scene, what kind of story do I want to tell, I thought, wouldn't it be funny if it looks like they're like in this, let's say, coffee shop or tea shop against this brick wall background, and we're looking through a window and it has the kind of that white writing, you know, that you get on some shop windows. So that's really the inspiration behind today's video. So we are going to let the paste dry. I did a very thin application of the black grit paste from Holtz on a gray cardstock. I believe the cardstock I used is the Anchor color from Spellbinders, and then of course the black grit paste. And I did that purposely. A lot of times I like to use a lighter brick look, but I felt like I wanted these ladies to really pop against a dark background. So that is why I went with that. And the lighter gray of the cardstock, even though it's still a darker cardstock, it's lighter than the black grit paste. That looks like the grout there. And I thought that that really made the bricks pop. I made sure and did a thin application of the grit paste, and then please make sure you wash it away immediately off of your palette knives, off of your stencils, because that stuff sticks to everything. Okay, I am going to set that aside, and you can see that I have stamped these ladies on my smooth white cardstock. I do use 110-pound weight Nina smooth white cardstock. For my alcohol ink coloring, I am coloring all of my images in with Olo markers today. Yes, I do speed up the coloring quite a bit, especially for these STAMPtember videos. So you can always click the gear button here on YouTube to slow it down if you want to watch this a little bit slower. Now, I wanted to go for just kind of like, I love coloring their outfits. Every year I say this, I feel like in STAMPtember when we get to Art Impressions, but I find this part of the process really fun, like deciding what these ladies are wearing. I don't know, that's probably silly, but I've talked about my love of paper dolls when I was a little girl a lot. This is kind of similar. So I decided to give this gal a bold red top. And then we're going to give her like some gray or kind of blackish dark charcoal color slacks. And then like some little kind of light gray slip-on shoes. I made an error in coloring her that was easily fixed. Her little pocketbook here, or her wallet, I originally, because I have really been so into pink and red, I thought I'm going to color her little pocketbook pink, and we're going to do some pink colors, even though that's not really what I had intended to do for the lady on the right. But I thought, oh, I'll do the pocketbook pink and then I'll pull in some pink over here. I pretty quickly realized that I do not like these pink colors whatsoever. And I do let it kind of dry a little bit before I go over the top of it. It's okay. It's just not my favorite. I decided to go over with some darker reds, kind of give it a little bit more of a maroon pocketbook look. And I like this so much better. And that really inspired me to not use pink in this card whatsoever. I decided I wanted to do kind of like a beige cardigan, an ivory colored top, and then like blue slacks on the gal on the right, and I love it. It might not seem like the most exciting colors, but to me, I felt like this just really looked like an outfit probably that I would wear. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. So lots of neutrals here. So I definitely did lots of different colors. I am going to break down the colors in the description below the video here on YouTube, as well as over on my blog by Lady 1 on the left and Lady 2 on the right. That way you know exactly which colors were used for each, and love these. Funny enough, I kept the Boba tees until the very end. I don't know why, but those are just going to use some shades of brown. Even though there is a lot of neutral shades on this lady on the right, these colors are all slightly different. And if you think about it, like when you're getting dressed or you're accessorizing, that is a lot how we do things like that. So I just love it. So I don't know. I found it really funny. Truth be told, I feel like these two ladies kind of resemble a couple of gals I watch, which is funny. It was not intended. I will say that. And yeah, I just love it. I thought it was so cute. Anyway, this is a super, super fun card design. Really, really sweet. If you guys love the Art Impressions ladies, I always think they're so funny. I love this every year. I have talked about this in past years as well. Stamptember to me is one of those opportunities that I don't always take throughout the rest of the year to, you know, get to play with some of those other companies, just because of time constraints. And I love it. I feel like it stretches me outside my comfort zone. It stretches me creatively, and that is a good thing. I feel like we should always, it's good to know what we like and to know there's always those touches, right? I always try to include those touches in any of my cards, even if I'm stretching myself, those things that are me. But you guys, it's a great thing to try to stretch yourself creatively. So let me know. I know a lot of you love the Art Impressions every year. Drop me a comment. I'd love to know if you are an Art Impressions fan and colorer. And also let me know, I know I've heard from a couple of you guys that you're really enjoying, you love all the coloring in Stamptember. I love to color. I don't do it quite as much as I do during Stamptember, but drop me a comment, let me know. Okay, I am popping my image out. Again, can we just give a huge shout out to Simon Says Stamp for the wonderful dies that cut so close to our stamped images. I mean, you guys, I love it so much. It cuts out all those little spaces, not leaving big blobs of white. Blobs, that's the technical term, everywhere. I am here for it. Now, as I was thinking about adding this to my card, I was like, oh, let's add in our white highlights. We have to add our white highlights. And you'll notice that I gave both of the gals a nice bright red lip. I personally love a bright red lip. I don't always do it, but I absolutely love it. Mostly because I find that sometimes it migrates and I forget to look at myself before I leave the house, but I do love a bold red lip. So anyway, that's really has nothing to do with our card making today. I'm just giving you all my little antidotes here on, I believe this is a Friday video. Okay, so we are going to glue this, and I am actually going to glue this directly to the background. So it looks like we're looking through this big arched window. I mean, if I haven't told you already how much I love the A2 arches from Simon Says Stamp, and several other companies have them as well. Any of the companies. I love this. This is one of my favorite shapes. One of the things I love that Art Impressions does during Stamptember is their stamp set usually includes lots of options for greetings. So that is something I personally love. I am stamping, or well, I actually applied a piece of acetate back behind my arch here. This was die cut from some Spellbinders fog cardstock. And then I am stamping the sentiments on the acetate window with Stazon cotton white ink. And this cotton white ink is great. You definitely want to use Stazon, and here you can see how I'm erasing it. If you take some rubbing alcohol or even Stazon cleaner, and I like to use a Q-tip, you can erase it if you don't like how it's stamped. I re-inked my cotton white Stazon ink pad. It was a little blotchy, one of those. And so I had to actually clean that off and re-stamp it. And that is a little tip for you guys, because Stazon is permanent on things like acetate. It's a solvent ink. So if you need to stamp on vellum, acetate, other things that are not porous, then definitely use a solvent ink. So then I went ahead and put foam all the way around my big picture window here, and we're going to apply it right over our background. Super simple. Now, I realized my mistake pretty quickly here. I wanted to add a little bit of distressing to the background of the card. So I actually took my die cut piece from the center, layered it over the top, placed it in my splatter box, added some Spellbinders Raven Splatter, and then I'll remove the little mask, and my window doesn't have any of that splatter on it, and my card is finished. Super simple today, but I think so effective, and definitely an emphasis on coloring. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for the Art Impressions STAMPtember 2025 limited edition set called Boba Babes. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community.